for stopping by.
He finally retired 5 years after he actually played
Yeah,
the game.
did he practice his retirement speech?
Yeah, he might have.
We're out of control already. This is the Sports Report for November 4th,
Yep.
2072.
Yeah.
We're going to take you all around the high school football. We're going to talk a little pro football with this guy. Congratulations, Westside Falcons C team, Super Bowl champs.
They got those rings.
They got
Other kids, do they get ring pops or what do they get?
ring pops. Ring pops they got. I think we might hear a little bit about Matty McGloin we might be talking to. Ladies and gentlemen, all rise. Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
All right, before I get into high school football, some house cleaning I want to take care of real quick.
Clean the house
Hopefully I can get this done.
like a good woman.
Yes! That's one.
Or a nice man. Okay.
All right. A couple weeks ago, I'll start with cross country because that's one of the big. It's the big headline
Cross country.
in the past couple weeks. District 2 meet was about 2 weeks ago. Lakeland boys, Tunkhannock boys, and Wallenpaupack boys were team champions. Holy Cross.
Holy Cross!
And warm up those wings for in a minute there, Moose. Holy Cross, Dallas, and Abington Heights are team champions in the girls. The individual champions were Nate Morgan of Lakeland in boys single A, Dominic DeLuca from Dallas boys double A, Matt Kravitz, North Pocono boys triple A. Then girls single A, we had Tess Kearns, Holy Cross, Reagan Roman from Dallas and girls double A, and Tessa Barrett, girls triple A from Abington Heights. Okay, so that took care of the districts. Over the weekend was the state meet down in Hershey, and Tessa Barrett was the girls AAA state champion. There was never any doubt here for this one. Her winning time at Hershey was 17 minutes 30 seconds, more than 30 seconds before the second place finisher.
17 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yep, the Penn State verbal commit. She's going to Penn State.
Going to Penn State. How about that?
Yep. She was the only girl in all 3 races to run under 18 minutes. So, thumbs up. Shout out. And also, girls single A, Holy Cross.
Holy Cross!
The girls single A team champions. Tess Kearns, Mackenzie Greenfield, Zoe Haggerty, Abby Gazuchich, Abby Corrigan, Grace Cosgrove, Megan Healy was the team for Holy Cross, winning the state championship. And their District 2 rivals, Elk Lake, was second. They were second. Elk Lake, the team of Justine Johns, Katie Bennett, Lexus Hemingway, Julie Van Eaton, Liz Trowbridge, Kenzie Jones, Adriana Perret. That's the Elk Lake team. And to show that girls single A was very competitive in District 2, Montrose didn't officially qualify as a team, but in the district meet they qualified 5 runners, which is the minimum you need to qualify as a team for the team race. Montrose's team finished 6th with their 5 girls: Allison Lewis, Samantha Benici, Emma Washoe, Angela Russell, and Paige Dolaway for the girls there. I also want to shout out from the Wyoming Valley, Tunkhannock boys and Dallas girls won the AA state championships, and Reagan Romy won the AA race for Dallas in the individual competition. So, round of applause.
Special shout out to Scranton prep freshman Gulnara Sadowski, up and coming star.
Well, there's a lot of up-and-coming stars across country.
Yes.
Matter of fact, Holy Cross, Elk Lake. A lot of those top runners were juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, so they're going to be competitive for the next 2-3 years down the line. A couple notes in the boys' races: Nate Morgan and Mark Arzi from Lakeland. They were top 10 finishers in boys AA, 5th and 8th respectively. Kyle Perry from Scranton Prep, 14th in the boys AA race. All right, so that takes care of cross country. The other big headline the last couple weeks was Scranton Prep's tennis team. They had their doubles team of Grace Riley and Emily Johnson finished second in the doubles competition, and the Scranton Prep team finished second in the team tournament down there at Hershey Racket Club. Both times they lost to Mercyhurst Prep in the finals, but that's the tennis powerhouse in Pennsylvania, so there's no shame in losing to them. But second place that's qualifies for another shout out. And quickly, the last thing I want to get through here: District 2 volleyball and soccer championships were held last week. Delaware Valley, this is girls volleyball now. Delaware Valley girls AAA, Dunmore and girls Single A won district championships. Both those teams won their championship matches in a 3-set sweeps. Sweeps! For Dunmore in the final, they swept Susquehanna 3-0. Jill Korjeski had 16 kills.
Wow!
She has 500. She has over 500 now in her career, which for the basketball equivalent is like having 1,000 points.
That's a crime spree.
And for Delaware Valley, they swept Hazleton area. Alyssa Kelly had 16 kills. She has 183 on the season.
183 kills?
Yep.
Wow.
A lot of carnage there.
It's like an episode of Criminal Minds.
Wow. Okay. One last thing. District 2 soccer last Thursday on Halloween. 5 Flock 1 elite teams won championships. Start with the girls. Girls Single A Mountain View, a 4-1 winner over Montrose.
Speaking of Halloween, you can take your costume off once.
Ooh, that's two.
Two. Jenny Malenko had 2 goals for Mountain View in the 4-1 win over Montrose. Girls AA Scranton Prep was a 3-1 winner over Dallas. Elena Falcone had 2 goals for the Classics. They called them the Classics for the girls. Girls AAA Wall Paulpack, 1-0 win over Abington Heights. Gretchen Hiller had the lone goal for the Lady Buckhorns. And boys Single A, the defending state champions for Mountain View, they continue to roll. They had a 4-2 win over Holy Cross. 2 goals from one of the best to ever play soccer in this area, Colby Thomas. He's just a maniac when it comes to soccer.
He's a maniac
on the dance floor. And then boys AAA, Abington Heights got the 1-0 win over Wall Paulpack. A penalty kick goal from Chris Ferraro with 4 minutes left in regulation for the Comets there to send the Comets to the victory in the district title. Volleyball and soccer states are starting tomorrow, so by the time Ox gets this up, they'll probably have already played their first round state match.
We'll update that on the webpage, right?
Yep, we will get on Facebook. Yep, we will get it out there for you. So now, with all that taken care of, we got to get into the meat and potatoes now. We got to talk District 2 playoffs.
Maybe, if I can interject for one moment.
Please do. I need a break.
May I approach the bench here?
Yes, you may.
Okay, we had another person we talk about, especially probably the most talked about girl, except for Tessa Barrett, has been me and Nana. And she accepted a scholarship to, University of Alabama?
Yes, she did. Yep.
And that's a big time.
And we will be talking
big time thing.
Yep, we will be talking a lot about her when we get to the winter sports.
Alabama.
You'll hear that name a lot. Yeah, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Exactly. Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Yep. So congratulations to Mia. Good luck with your senior year.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be talking about her a lot.
Yep.
And she'll be getting medal after medal.
And setting record after record.
Like she's been doing.
Yep, for 3 years.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I'll even say that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Before I preview the district playoffs, one last edition of the top 10. I am not going to release another one after the playoffs.
Here we go. It's right here, folks.
It wouldn't be fair, and we'll go the obvious teams. Number 1, number 2. They've been number 1, number 2 all year. Dunmore 10-0, Scranton Prep 10-0. Both were. I could have made this a tie, but it wouldn't. I don't think that'd be fair to To be honest, I don't know. I could have, but I don't know. It's just the way. It's the way I saw it.
That's just the way it is.
But yeah. So Dubmore, Scranton Prep, they each completed 10-0 undefeated regular seasons. Number 3, 9-1, Old Forge. They are looking for redemption this year in the Single A playoffs.
When is New Forge going to step up?
I know.
Number 4, Abington Heights, 9-1 on the year. The only blemish was the Scranton Prep, and we'll be talking about them in a couple minutes with their quarterback J.C. Shao.
Well, it's a big show.
Number
High budget
5.
sound effects
Yeah.
here.
Number 5, the Carbondale Chargers. They finished 9-1 season. The only loss was to Old Forge during the regular season. Number 6 is Scranton, 7-3. They're on their way to the Quad A playoffs in District 2. Number 7 is Lakeland, 6-4. Another year, another district playoff appearance for the Chiefs up there in Chapman Lake. Number 8, the surprise of the year, at least my opinion, Kyle Cook leading the Susquehanna Sabres to a 5-5 record. They qualified for the district playoffs.
Good.
And I ended up with a tie at 9-10. Honesdale and Delaware Valley each ended with 5-5 years, but considering what both those teams went through, that's about as very respectable for Honesdale, Delaware Valley. So now let me get quickly here into the playoffs. So start in the meat and potatoes, which is the AAA bracket. You have 4 teams in there. The combined record of those 4 teams is 38-2, and the 2 losses
They've been to
each other. Yeah. You have Berwick and Crestwood in the 1-4 game. Berwick beat Crestwood 41-7 on opening night of the high school season. And that'll be Saturday afternoon down at Crispin Field. And then Friday night at Scranton Memorial Stadium, the rematch, Abington Heights against Scranton Prep. 21-13 game for Scranton Prep in week 7. Scranton Prep, for as good as their defense has been this year, the last 2 weeks, they had some surprising games because both those games against Delaware Valley and West Scranton, they ended up tied at halftime before Prep's defense pulled away. And the one thing I thought is that Prep's defense against the run is stout. The passing game, that'll be the question mark against Abington Heights with J.C. Shao. Because Abington showed a lot of poise coming back from a 21-0 deficit last week against Scranton. And I don't know, I mean, Berwick, of the 4 teams, Berwick has a very capable offense when it comes to their quarterback and receivers. So if Berwick and Prep played in the district final, that would be the key to watch. Could Scranton Prep's secondary matchup with Berwick's wide receivers, but they got to get there first.
Yeah, both exciting games, like you said, like you alluded to. Shao can throw the ball a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So and they're not phased, especially if they go down early. They're not going to go away.
Yeah, Prep won the regular season battle, but Abington has the championship edge, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because they're the defending district champions. They're not going to be fazed by being perceived. They will definitely be the underdogs in this game.
They have great coaching staff. They'll be ready.
They'll be ready to
They're
go,
coming to play.
and it should be a big crowd down there because that's probably going to be the only game in the Scranton area worth going to on Friday night. The Quad A picture, Scranton was the only Lock 1 Elite team to qualify. They will be the 8th seed, and they are heading to East Stroudsburg South. Kind of redundant matchup because this is the second year in a row that these teams have played. Last year the matchup was vice versa. East Stroudsburg South, as the 8 went up to Scranton and lost. But this year East Stroudsburg South, the only team in the Quad A sub-regional to go 10-0, and they have a very good running back. He's like a 5'6" Mighty Mouse in Nico Petrone. You can't find him out of the backfield. And when you do, he's probably running right by you into the secondary. So that'll be the challenge for the Knights defense this Friday. But they'll bring their own hammer and running back Jake McCarthy, and we'll see if Scranton can pull off the upset there. Wyoming Valley West was the only District 2 was the other District 2 team to qualify. They will be hosting Easton in a 4-5 game. So quite conceivably, Scranton and Wyoming Valley West could play in the following week for the District 2 championship. Regardless, if they both win or if they both lose, because the Scranton basketball rule would then apply. They have to have a standalone District 2 champion. All right. AA. Lake Lehman's the number 1 seed. They will be hosting Susquehanna. Susquehanna 2 weeks ago, they had Carbondale on the ropes. They had them 19-13 going in the fourth quarter before Carbondale scored 28 unanswered points to pull that game out 41-19. But Susquehanna, this regardless of what happens, this is a good experience for them, a district playoff game for Coach Kyle Cook. He and the Carbondale coach Larry Gabriel, they get my votes for coaches of the year for different reasons. Carbondale, they get the rematch with Lakeland. I think week 4, Carbondale shut out Lakeland 27-0. Part of that unbelievable start from the Carbondale defense. But this is going to be a far different game because Lakeland, like Abington, is a battle-tested team. They know how to play in the playoffs. So this will be a far different game than that one in week 4. And single A, these matchups have been set for 3 weeks pretty much. Lackawanna Trail at the number 1 seed Dunmore. Northwest, the number 3 seed at the number 2 seed Old Forge. Lackawanna Trail, Northwest, they will bring everything they got. They got their bag of tricks, they got their slingshots, they got their arrows. They're gonna try everything they possibly can to prevent the much anticipated Week 12 rematch between Dunmore and Old Forge. But when all is said and done, I don't think Dunmore and Old Forge will have any problems in winning these games this week to set up that game next weekend. And
That's why they play the game, though. We'll see.
It's playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Playoffs. And one final note, Delaware Valley Quad A Eastern Conference, they will be traveling to Emmaus for Keith Olsemer, the head coach over there. Like with Susquehanna, you're building to next year, I think, with this game, especially in Eastern Conference, a chance to get one and possibly a second game to get those younger kids ready for 2014. Try to end the year on a positive note. That is it. I'm getting the babble.
Awesome stuff. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Doctor, what's going on in the pros?
We're going right into it.
Going right into it.
All right.
Look at that. No messing around here.
I was hoping you'd give me a little better segue then. Talk about the pros.
I
How
got
about
a
those?
doctor. How's that?
Yep.
Okay, how about them beards?
The beards.
Yeah,
The
you're
beard men.
shaved. You find
I trimmed. My
you
face
trimmed.
got a
Oh, you
haircut.
did.
I didn't go.
You didn't go all the way. You just trimmed.
I almost made it.
You did.
I almost made it.
The bearded men, the Red Sox. So we should have talked about this last week, but they pulled out in 6. They beat the Cardinals. It was a good series, very competitive until the last game. The Cardinals was kind of.
It was a crazy series.
Crazy series.
Games 2 and 3 were at Game 4 the way those games ended.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We were waiting for the Game 5 to end on a balk.
I thought we'd have the old-fashioned Louis Soho Little League home run from about 20 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, just to close out baseball. That was 2 great baseball cities going at each other.
Yeah,
You know,
for like the fifth
Both
or
teams-
sixth time in the World Series.
both teams respected each other the
Yeah.
whole time, and got a little crazy with the whole obstruction call, and but David Ortiz just came to play. No one had any. You knew the Red Sox were winning after Game 3 or Game 2 even, but when they lost, you knew it was going to be David Ortiz to be the most valuable player in that
I
series.
would say the best 2 teams in the last 10 years, hands down.
Yeah. I think that's what that World Series in a larger scale was about. You know, it was about
Dynasty.
who was the team of the last decade,
Yeah.
and man, Boston from worst to first. Even being a Red Sox fan personally, I wouldn't have thought that until maybe a couple months into the season. You know, but those key acquisitions they got, those character guys like Johnny Gomes. You got your Napoli.
And
Your David Ross.
Victorino had
Victorino.
the big hit in Game 5.
How clutch
Game
was-
6.
How clutch was he? That's it.
Yeah.
Guys, you just that they showed up to the ballpark early.
It was like the
every day.
2004 team. They brought these players in as the season went on, and they made the. Well, Ortiz got the headlines. Lester, I thought it should have been Cole MVP because Lester,
He was phenomenal.
in his 2 starts, was just dominant.
And a guy who, for the large amount of the season, didn't look like John Lester. And last year, same thing. He found it. He found a groove, and he was absolutely lights out.
Yeah.
Koji Uehara, he feels like a rookie because no one's really heard of him until this year. The guy's actually 38 years old, but he's another guy with ice water in his veins, and he was the entire bullpen for the Red Sox.
Yeah,
he really was.
Once he came in, he was like, forget it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got good state here. Excuse, don't worry. But we'll see. They're partying up there in Boston.
They've been partying.
I wonder if we can get Ox to put up on the screen Mike Napoli. He was walking shirtless through Quincy Market yesterday or Saturday night.
Ox, you find it?
I'll get it. But yeah, it was good. It was a good. That was besides 04. That was a very meaningful time to do it. You know, a very meaningful championship for that city.
Yeah.
And has there been a better sports city over the last decade? You know,
I mean, yeah.
Just with the Patriots winning, got 3 in the last decade. Bruins got 1, Celtics got 1, Sox got 3.
Yeah.
You know, I think the people in New York are the envious now.
Oh yeah.
They're no longer the big brother when it comes to at least for now. So we'll see how that happens. Baseball is off, and basketball is already underway, huh?
Yeah. And what the heck's going on with the Sixers?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be. Let's.
They had the hashtag
struggle for
tank it. For Wiggins, tank for Wiggins. It was the
guy from Kansas in the lottery.
The freshman, everyone thinks he's going to be the #1 pick already, which he probably will be. And the Sixers start out 3-0, beating the Heat, Miami Heat at home, and the Bulls at home. And well, I said I don't know what the next 70 some odd games are going to bring, but I think they're going to be a competitive team, and they got a lot of new exciting guys like Michael Carter-Williams from Syracuse. You know, Tony Roten, he looks good early in the season, and Hawes and Turner, they look like they can play now. Magically, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's early. It's very early.
Oh, yeah.
We have a long way to go. Mm-hmm. But what do we really talk about here?
I think last weekend the biggest story, the most surprising story for me was Nick Foles and the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles throwing a record 7 touchdowns in one game.
He did it in less time than it took Peyton Manning to do it.
Well, he did it in almost a half. He did it. There was still time left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And that's after flying cross country to play the Raiders. You know.
Yeah. But the Eagles went 2-3 weeks without a touchdown, and then they said Nick Foles goes out and throws 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. They put up 49
Go
points.
Figure. Just your.
And the thing is, Raiders defense until yesterday looked like they
were okay. They're not great, but they were okay.
And an even bigger story for us
in
locally,
this area was
Northeast Pennsylvania, and all you Penn State fans out there was McGloin got his first regular season in-game action.
Matty!
That was awesome to watch. And when we saw the blowout, even before Pryor was hurt, we were saying, I think
Twitter was about
Facebook feeds were all McGloin,
they're like,
McGloin Nation.
Put McGloin in. Let's see. But he got 2 series and not. I didn't think it was too bad for him just getting his feet wet.
7 for 15, 87 yards.
That's gotta be nerve-wracking.
He had 2 drives. One of them he engineered for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he looked okay, and it's good.
I mean,
you will not hear a color commentator or announcer say anything bad about Matt, and that was the cool part.
Yeah,
because they knew all about him.
Yeah.
A backup who was a walk-on at Penn State.
Yeah.
He's not this highly touted guy.
Yeah,
you know?
the analyst was Brian Billick. He was the former Ravens head coach.
Yeah.
Vikings. He was the Vikings offensive coordinator when Cunningham was there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you knew all about him.
Yeah. So
that's cool to see.
And who knows that now the Raiders make the 3,000-mile trip to New York this week to play the Giants. So who knows? Maybe
Matty gets a little more time.
Yeah, but
is there any?
He's Pryor's day to day.
Day to day.
So McGloin probably get a little bit more. If Pryor can't get ready for Wednesday, so McGloin probably might get some. He might get first team reps and maybe prepare to play on Sunday.
Matter of time.
Well, we know Matt's always he'll be prepared to play nonetheless.
Yes,
Just
sir.
tell him he can't do it. He'll throw 7 touchdowns himself.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as elsewhere in the NFL going, I think who's the best team right now, Muggs? What do you
The
say?
New York Giants.
Seattle's been struggling but pulling out wins lately. The Chiefs are 9-0 and not even scoring offensive touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's the exciting. The Giants won 2 straight.
In Indianapolis, who know? I mean, their last 2 wins have been crazy. I mean, they upset Peyton and then left.
I actually went to sleep thinking that my surprise, my underdog picked my what do we call upset special. Upset special.
Yeah.
I thought that came in. I went to bed when the Texans were up 2 scores in the second half. That didn't come through. Geez, Luck is a clutch quarterback.
He's kept the comeback. Ted career 4th quarter comebacks his career, and we do want to send out our heartfelt prayers to John Fox and Gary Kubiak. Hope you guys have speedy recoveries and back on the sidelines real soon.
Absolutely. 2 great coaches, 2 great teams, 2 top teams. You know?
Yeah.
The one thing you won't hear about is Tony Romo's game-winning drive yesterday, will you?
Tell you what.
What do you say about that?
Romo Demption.
If Romo throws a touchdown in the woods and that's a game winner and no one sees it, does it actually happen? No? That's what I want to know. That's all I got for today. Patriots roll. Their offense like to be back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The AFC is just crazy right now. You have everybody with the exception of the Jaguars and probably the Steelers now, they're probably out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, it's about 4 teams, but everyone else still has a shot.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll see. NFC East, the 3 teams that played won yesterday.
Yeah, the Giants were on the bye, so they didn't lose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Monday night didn't happen yet, but by the time you see it, it did. Any prediction? Should we just say?
I took the Bears in my upset special. I just have that funny feeling that the Bears are going to come through and pull this one out.
Judge's gut is hardly ever wrong. Hardly ever wrong. That's
So,
That's all I got today.
Awesome.
You got anything? I like your hat, by the way.
Thank you. It's all about the
MJ.
Jordan, baby. It's always about Jordan. Greatest athlete ever. Athlete ever. Business. Athlete/business. Right there. That was the sports report for the week of November 4th, 2013, Mugs.
Yep.
2013. I almost went to contempt. Coming up after the break.
Michael Jordan's former manager for the Barons, Terry Francona.
No. The guy who played his publicist in Space Jam, Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight.
Hello,
Newman.
Jerry. Awesome. You're watching MattyVision.com. We do.